Hello, everybody. I had this amazing video that I just put out, and then someone called and it stopped my entire taping, and I don't know how to mesh tapes together right now. It's harder on a phone than it is on a laptop, and I do have to get one. So, anyway, I am going to update you about my shoulder another time because I have a doctor's appointment today and I don't want to say anything that's not going to be correct information. So I am waiting till after my doctor appointment today. But let's just say that the last couple of weeks, the last 10 days, I have been in excruciating pain. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, it's just painful. Anyway. So, BlackEyed Children, let's talk about this. Don't let them in your house. No, I'm joking. That's one heck of a short, isn't it? Anyway, so I want to talk about BlackEyed Children. I love this topic, and I want to create more videos about it. I find it fascinating. So I got this story from the Bangladesh report. I read this, and it was so interesting. Okay. So I got this from BangladeshPost.net. I like going to, I don't know, different places to get this. What I like about this one is that on Bangladesh report, they don't do a tongue-in-cheek sort of explanation. They kind of leave it up to you. So what do you think? Are they ghosts? Are they humans? Are they demons? Is it a hoax? And I prefer that over these tongue-in-cheek, ooh, spooky, and then make fun of us people that see things and that experience the ParaWeird. So I appreciate Bangladesh Post for that. Anyway, let's start off with Brian Bethel. So at first, a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, it feels like a long time ago. In 1991, when the internet first came out, all of a sudden people were hearing about all these urban legends and hoaxes. Well, I have to tell you, and I'm going to have to tell you, this is all I'm leaving you with, and it's a cliffhanger, but I am an urban legend. So some of those urban legends are really true, and maybe we'll have to like put out a poll and guess which urban legend is D. It's actually really funny, but I am an urban legend. So I want to talk about this urban legend or this hoax. Just because the internet came out doesn't mean that the story's not true. It just means that we get our information differently now. We get our information with the internet. And so anyway, BlackEyed Children were spoken of in the 1980s around a campfire, like where I would go camping with my friends. Oh heck yeah, we talked about all of the scary stuff. That is like the funnest thing to do at a campfire, especially making s'mores with your friends, and s'mores that were like not with the yucky chocolate, but with the kind of expensive chocolate. Anyway, I'm a brat. Okay, I get it. Anyhow, so Brian Bethel is or was a reporter in Abilene, Texas, and he was sitting in his car. He had he saw that the children with pale I'm just going to read it from this BangladeshPost.net, and it is written by, doesn't say. It says by Online Desk. So it's written by Online Desk. And so Brian Bethel, this is what he says. He had an encounter with two black-eyed children in Abilene, Texas. He saw that the children with pale skin, that the children were with pale skin and black eyes, and repeated the same things that he said in front of the camera when he was at Monsters and Mysteries, an American show TV in 2012. You have to understand that Online Desk might not speak English, okay? Or his or hers first language may not be English. So he said that, so Brian Bethel reported about how he was parked in a parking lot outside of a movie theater. He stopped to write a check and had not noticed these two boys approaching his car. He was so absorbed in what he was doing that one of the boys had tapped on his side of the window. And when that happened, he was a little bit startled, because you don't know anyone's around. But he rolled down his window and felt immediate fear. The older boy said that they had come to watch the movie, but they forgot their money, and so now they don't have any money to get into the movie. So Brian, or Mr. Bethel, told them that, well, by the time I take you home and take you back, the movie will have ended. So the boys told them that they are harmless and that they needed to get in, that they wanted to be let in their car. And Brian was like, no, you're not getting in my car. And so he had felt weird, but he had not established a lot of eye contact with the boys. But as soon as he did, his fear tripled, and he just was in so much fear that he ended up just leaving. And he drove out of that parking lot. Now, parts of the stories, I've also heard that there was one man that had an encounter with two kids, and he was in his car, and he backed up and looked what was behind him, and then when he went to to put his car in drive and drive forward again, they had vanished. I've heard of so many stories of the black-eyed children. So, some people say that they are children aliens, or combined of the greys and humanoids that are hybrid, that now are black-eyed children. Most of the encounters have been in Texas, which is rather interesting in my opinion. But there's other parts of the countries and in other parts of the world as well. So now some people think that that they are just new on this, that they are just this new, newish kind of urban legend from the 80s, so that's only like, 40-ish years ago. 40 years ago, I was 13. So, 40 years ago. But then there are other people that are like, they've had experiences in the 50s since the crash at Area 51 in, was that Arizona? Or was it in Texas or Nevada? Anyway, there have been sightings since the 1950s. But there are demonologists out there that say that they are just demons and that they want to come in. You are inviting the devil to come in because they are demons. And I have heard of different tribes here in the United States of America, the indigenous tribes of the United States. They have what is called star people or star children. And then they say that there's opposition in all things. So what's the opposite of star children? So there's a form of a demon or devil children that are among us. And I've heard this. I cannot remember which tribes believe this, but it's to my understanding that Native Americans and a lot of other indigenous people have a spirituality about them. It may not be Christianity, it may not be Islam, it may not be Hindu, but they have a spirituality and they do believe in God. They do believe in a creator. And so with that, they believe in devils, they believe in God. And so and I believe that what people believe is, up to them, but I believe these stories. I do. So people that are paranormal, what would you call them? Researchers, I guess, for lack of a better word. They also have heard encounters or know people of encounters about this. So I don't think this is just related to the internet. So one of the things that that is interesting about Black-Eyed Children is with real children, you get the sense of, oh, they are so cute, they are so precious. And they're usually between the ages of 6 to 18, or 16 even, 15. And you get the sense of, oh, they are so sweet. Teenager kids and, the teenagers that I have been around have been really cute kids. And then little kids are always darling. And then, if you're a mom or a dad, your sense of, oh, ow, that hurt. Your sense of children and, wanting to protect them heightens. And so when you see them coming to the door, of course you want to help people that come to the door. There was a couple in Texas that did invite these two Black-Eyed Children in to their home. And it's on the internet. I was going to bring up their names, but I can't remember them right now, just right offhand. But what happened is, it was probably later than usual at night, probably at around 11 to 11:30, possibly even 12. They had just finished watching the very late night news or late night television or something, when they decided themselves that they were going to turn in and go to bed. But then they heard a knock on the door. So the wife answered the door. And here she saw 2 children. But she said that the elements outside did not match their clothing. So it could have been either a really super hot night or a really super cold night. And I want to say it was cold. And so she took pity on them, and she let them come in. And within a very short amount of time that happened, the gentleman, the husband, passed away due to an extreme amount of radiology, even though he had never been exposed to that strength of radiology before. Then she passed away too, due to an unknown illness, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. But they believe that it has to do with this encounter. Her family, 100%, their families believe that this encounter had everything to do with that. Because nobody can be seemingly, even though they're elderly, they can still be super healthy. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, even up to a week later, I think it was 3 weeks after that he died. I mean, that's just, what are the odds, really? I mean, really, what are the odds? So, then there are other stories. Now, they usually, when they want to come in or they want to get into your car, they have to be invited in. Well, that is very, very typical of a demon or a vampire. Vampires and demons, they have to be invited into your home. So some people believe that they're vampires. Some people believe, if there's star children, then what's the opposite of star children? Demon children, I guess. Is that the right term? Someone tell me. If you meet a star child or a star person, what's the opposite of that? I don't know. I would say demon, but so how do they look? They are super pale skin. They have black everything. The iris, the lid to lid black eyes. People also say that is a trait of a vampire too. They have super pale skin, and they all wear just about the same kind of clothing. It's not made for the weather that they are wearing. So in the summertime, they're wearing a super heavy sweatshirt that has a hoodie on it, and they usually have the hood on. And then they have a pair of black jeans, and then some have described them as wearing Vans, the others have described them as wearing Converse, something to that effect. But in the wintertime, who just wears just a sweatshirt in the middle of a blizzard? And then Vans and not boots. And then in the summertime, who wears a sweatshirt in the heat of Texas summer? So they're always off. They also speak in a monotone. They do not have any happiness surrounding them. Like, people feel a total sense of dread. This couple in Texas, they were allowed in. The BlackEyed Children were allowed in. And they said that they needed their phone to make a phone call. And they ended up not making a phone call. They ended up sitting there for a while. And then one of them, I can't remember if it was the husband or the wife, said, "We really need to get to bed." Then there's another encounter where someone said that they did not let them in, but they were very persistent, and they knocked on the door and yelled, "Let us in, let us in," like several times. And then they left. There was one sighting where a person said that they watched them from inside their living room, just a crack to kind of see where they were going or whatever. And there was a black car that looked like a man in black that allowed the kids to go back into the car. So very, very strange stuff going on. And I do believe that it goes really far back. Just as angels are old, demons are just as old, right? So, some of the things that they want help. They want to come in. They try to use the words like, I'm harmless, please, but they do it in a strange way. Their grammar is just a little bit off, and the way that they dress and their mannerisms are off. They're not, it's like, what was that? Then they ask for something, or they have a request. They try to lure, they try to manipulate you into letting them in. And then they always ask for help. They always say that they need help. They also find themselves saying that they start off trying to help even when they don't want to. They're compelled, which is another sign that some people, that's why other signs that people say that they are vampires is because they lure, they are compelling. Sometimes they roll down the car door a little bit, or they open up the door a little bit, and that the children make the adults think that the children are a victim of something or somehow. And then they feel obliged to do anything, but as soon as they lift their eyes to show their eyes, then all of a sudden the game changes. The game is totally not what it's supposed to be. So all of these things, I have a theory. I think that they are a form of a demon. And I think that they could be a hybrid demon, human. But that's for another topic. I think that because there have been in the past and in several cultures talking about star children and star people, that there has to be the opposite. There is always the opposite in all things, because that is a physics law of nature. There's opposition to all things. And so for that reason, I am inclined to say that they are demons. They will beg you to come in. They will plead with you. They will be super, super demanding. Now, a couple of years ago, I was at home, and it was probably 3 a.m, and I heard this huge bang on my kitchen door. Now, my kitchen door has a mirror. It has a window on it, and to cover the window, there is what is it called? You know, the blinders like these? They're blinders that cover it. So in the daytime, I open those blinders, but at night, I close them. And so I'm hearing this huge bang, 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 and then let me in, and then bang, 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 let me in. And it sounded like a female. I don't know who it was. Some people have said, well, maybe it's one of the previous owner's daughter. And then someone else said, well, maybe it's a demon. I live about 4 blocks to the west. So to my east, there is a seminary. And I've talked about it before in my other sessions, my other videos. And I don't know. Looking back at it, I never answered the door. By the time I came to the door, I had my gun. I'm not going to lie. You come to my door banging at it in demanding to come in. I'll come to the door, but I'm going to have a gun with me. That's Utah. Anyway, I came to the door. I had my gun. Loaded, ready to be taken off of the safety. I had my safety on, so see, I'm a good girl. And they were banging, banging, banging on my door. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming. But by the time I got there, I didn't open the door. They were gone. So anyway, sorry about that. My battery's going low on my phone. Anyway, so that is what I have. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you guys think of BlackEyed Children is? Has anybody had an encounter? I am very, very, very curious. Have you had an encounter about anything else? Just let me know. Let's keep a conversation going about some of these topics that I talk about. If you want. It's just kind of fun to be able to talk about them. There's other YouTube videos out there on YouTube and on other places that talk about the BlackEyed Children. I'm really excited. As I was doing this research, I found a documentary on Apple TV Plus called BlackEyed Children, Let Me In. I'm very excited. I will watch it, and then I'll let you guys know what I think about it. In the meantime, I am going to be posting, I believe, because I've been getting some, like, what is it, acetaminophen? I can't say it. Extra strength Tylenol and ibuprofen, and then something to help me sleep at night. Because of that, I mean, it does hurt, but I have a little bit more energy because the pain it takes the edge off. So I'm hoping that I can start doing more videos like today. So I'm hoping I can do one in a couple of days. I will let you know what the MRI said and what my doctor said. Before I let you guys know, I will have to talk to a couple family members and that kind of thing. So anyway, take care, be kind, don't litter, please, don't litter. I'll explain why next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Bye.